Hi, and welcome to your Platterful monthly tutorial. Are you new here? Check the link in the top right corner to find out more information about Platterful and who we are. All right, let's get started. This is a spooky version of a Platterful kit, so I'm really excited to show you what we're working with today. We're going to get started with our aged Asiago, and we're going to turn that into a coffin. So go ahead and take that out of the wrapper. For the cutting of this, we're going to cut off the top corners and then the bottom of this wedge to turn it into that coffin shape. So go ahead and cut your top right corner, and then I'm actually going to use that as a template for the other side of my coffin, and then just cut off the tip at the bottom. Now we're going to leave no cheese left behind, so these little wedges and leftovers that we have, we're actually going to cut those in half and use them as a little mound when we place them on our board. So cut those in half or into a few different pieces and then set them aside for placement. Now for our coffin, we are actually going to use some of this Terrapin Ridge cranberry relish for blood on the top. We'll do that in a second though. I'm not going to actually do that this second. And then we're also going to use some of our spooky accessories that came in your kit. So you'll find some spiders and some skulls, and we'll use those to really enhance this coffin and give it a little bit more of a spooky flair. Up next, we're going to turn our smoked bacon Gouda into a jack-o'-lantern. So go ahead and take that one out of the wrapper. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is cut out the stem. So from this, we're going to cut out two wedge type shapes out of the top of this round to create that stem look. As you can see, it's not going to be perfect. It kind of looks like an apple, but don't worry, we'll turn it into a jack-o'-lantern in no time. Okay, now for our jack-o'-lantern face, we are going to use the sharp end of a knife to actually cut out the shape. So I'm going to do 3 triangles, 2 for the eyes, 1 for the nose, and then I'm going to cut out the shape of the mouth as well. So you'll see me do that very carefully with the tip of a knife here in the video, and then from there I'm going to take a really small mustard spoon and actually dig out the places where I have cut to give a little bit of a crevice for the eyes and the nose and the mouth. And then I will fill it with the Terrapin Ridge jam so that it gives it that really nice deep red color so that you can see the face of the jack-o'-lantern. One thing to be careful of here is really trying to be precise with where you put the jam. As you can see, I kind of guide it with my knife to make sure it stays within those grooves that I've created. And lastly, for our jack-o'-lantern, I'm going to use some fresh basil from the garden to add some leaves to the stem. And while we have our jam open and out, I'm going to go ahead and add it to the coffin to give it that nice blood look coming out of the coffin, and use my spooky accessories to really enhance that. So I've got my skull that I'm going to place right in the center of the blood as if it's coming out of the coffin, and then my spiders as decorations around. Here's a better look at our final coffin and a better look at our final jack-o'-lantern. And lastly, for our large kits, we have our pumpkin goat cheese, which we are ironically going to turn into mini pumpkins. So go ahead, take this out of the wrapper, and this is going to be pretty simple. We're going to take the log and split it into 4 portions and turn them into pumpkins by just rolling them into nice, similar sized balls. From here, I'm going to use rosemary to add some leaves to our pumpkins, and also the almonds from Cliff Family Winery to add the stem. So go ahead and pluck off some rosemary from a sprig, and then also grab 4 almonds, and then we will add those to the pumpkins to finish them. Up first for our meats, we have our orange and ginger salami chub. So for this one, we are going to take it out of the wrapper. Again, there is a secondary wrapper inside, the plastic wrapper, and then there's also that casing on the outside of the chub. First, we're going to remove that. For doing that, I always like to cut off the tip, and that allows me to get under that casing a little bit easier. This one actually took a little bit to get off, but go ahead, cut off the tip, and then see if you can get under that casing to use your scissors or a knife to cut it a little bit, and that will help you pull it off. So go ahead, take off that outside wrapper, the inside plastic, and then also the casing. And then from there, we are just going to slice this chub, as we always do, into about 1/4 of an inch slices, and then we'll be able to use that to weave around things on our board. Lastly, for our large kits, we have our sliced salami. So for this one, we are going to create a couple of different things. So go ahead and take it out of the wrapper, and we'll get started with our salami rows. For the salami rows, we're going to use 6 slices of salami. So go ahead and take those and overlap them like you see me do in the video. From here, we are going to fold this up in half, and then you can take it and spin it, and then you're just going to roll it very, very tightly into a nice salami roll. From here, you can place it in the palm of your hand, cupping the rows from the bottom, and use your fingers to spread out the petals to make it look a little bit more lifelike. When we place this on our board, I'm going to place it near the coffin to make it kind of like a flower garnish on top of that coffin or near a coffin, like you would see in a graveyard. For the next placement of our sliced salami, we are going to take it and fold it into fourths. So fold it in half again, and then we are going to stack these and make them look like a half moon when we place them between 2 things on our board. And lastly, we're going to create a salami river. So take a slice of salami, fold it in half, take another slice of salami, fold it in half, place it halfway over the original slice, and then you're going to fold that original slice up over the second slice. You're going to continue this motion almost like a braiding pattern with the remaining pieces of your salami. Okay, now we are just going to make our boards. So this first one is going to be our standard kit. If you got our large kit, you can go ahead and fast forward a few minutes and you'll be able to watch me build the large kit.